Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on this Friday, February 11th. Live from the Beasley Media Complex in Boone, this is the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Xanayra Marin-Lopez.
And I'm Shannon Pendleton.
We begin our newscast today with a COVID-19 update in the high country. The university made a significant drop in COVID-19 cases compared to last week. There are a total 65 active cases in students, down 104 cases from the previous week. There are 15 in employees, down just one from last week. This makes a total of 80 cases on campus. Harris Teeter pharmacies are a new location where you can get free non-surgical N95 masks. According to the CDC, these masks offer the best protection against COVID-19 because they filter out more than 95% of particles in the air. In partnership with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, they're available while supplies last. Other pharmacies with free 95 masks are CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and Walmart.
The United States Forest Service is planning 5 prescribed burns on Grandfather Range District. Prescribed burns are used to reduce the risk of wildfires by reducing accumulation of fuels on the forest floor. One of the burns will be near Blowing Rock and will be 200 acres wide. Proper personnel and equipment will be on site of the burns, and some roads may be closed. Burns are planned and analyzed by a team of specialists to ensure it is not causing harm to wildlife. The burns do not have an exact date yet, but they will happen depending on the weather conditions.
Ahead of elections this November, the North Carolina Supreme Court ruled against districting maps that Republicans drew, saying they violated the state constitution. The state Supreme Court said the maps that show the 14 House districts and state legislative districts violate guarantees of free elections, speech, and assembly. The Republican-controlled legislature must now redraw new maps and show that they offer equal opportunity to all voters. The justices voted in a 4-3 decision split along party lines. This ruling sets a precedent for how they judge future maps in the state. The maps could play an important role in the struggle for control of the House of Representatives in elections this November.
On February 4th, an update from App State revealed an exciting infrastructure announcement. Our correspondent Sydney Gladwell has the story.
Last week, Chancellor Sherry Everetts announced App State would be breaking ground this semester on the first building in the university's long-envisioned Innovation District. Let's take a look at what this all could mean for students and the surrounding communities.
The Appalachian region is home to so many, and the Innovation District's first building is set to showcase that fact. The Conservatory for Biodiversity, Education, and Research will serve as an important link between App State's campus and the surrounding communities through education, research, and outreach. The Conservatory's planned site sits in front of App State's baseball stadium on Bodenheimer Drive. This site was specifically chosen because right next door is a 65-acre nature preserve. Together, the preserve and the conservatory will encourage anyone who calls the high country home, and people just passing through, to understand the importance of the region's natural history and biodiversity, as well as gain insight on the research and creative projects conducted at App State. The Innovation District aims to enhance the App State experience and curriculum through collaborations with students and faculty across campus, as well as in the community. Other facilities being discussed are spaces for research, teaching and demonstration, workspaces for multidisciplinary projects, renewable energy labs, and expanded exhibition and studio spaces.
Although the full Innovation District may not be realized for another 10 years, the beginning is just months away. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Sydney Gladwell.
On January 28th around 1:30 a.m., a mural downtown was damaged. The mural was located at the intersection of West King Street and South Depot Street. The man seen on cameras was wearing a light-colored App State hat, a black and red flannel with a white shirt underneath, and khaki pants. He was with another man wearing a blue Patagonia and jeans. The Boone Police Department and High Country Crime Stoppers are asking the public's help in solving this crime. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 828-268-6959 or Boone Police Department at 828-268-6900.
2 former deputies from the Avery County Sheriff's Department are facing charges for an incident that occurred last July. The Avery County jury indicted Luis Alberto Sanchez of Vilas and Joshua James Marshall of Morganton. This came after allegations of assault involving 2 deputies and a teenager in the Sheriff's Office Explore program. They were charged with contributing to the abuse of juvenile and willful failure to discharge duties. Both were set to appear in court earlier this week.
Clifton Ray Anderson appeared before the United States Magistrate Judge David Kayer on February 6. Anderson pleaded guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States excise taxes on distilled liquor. He also got charged with interstate transportation of untaxed liquor and possession of an unregistered still. 4 other co-conspirators also pleaded guilty to federal charges. According to the plea documents from April 2018 and September of 2020, Anderson conspired with the others to operate and maintain an illegal still bar in Wilkes County. The barn was used to illegally produce more than 9,000 gallons of untaxed liquor, also known as moonshine, which resulted in the total of federal and state excise and sales tax loss of $100,000. Anderson's charges each carry a max prison sentence of 5 years and a $250,000 fine.
Local newspaper The Mountain Times is decreasing its distribution. Our correspondent Dalen Mickle has the story.
The Mountain Times will be decreasing distribution amongst multiple counties in the northwestern part of North Carolina, effective February 10th.
Newspapers as a whole have diminished quite a bit and everything has become digital. People are getting their news from online websites, social media platforms like YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and people are also getting their news from radio stations and podcasts. I spoke with Moss Brennan for more on the subject.
I mean, the internet, that's where a lot of newspapers are going. I mean, you have access to it. A lot of people have access to it. A lot more people have access to the internet than they maybe do to physical paper. You have more things you can use on the internet. You can, like, for access wise, you can put video, you can link to stuff.
Effective February 10th, the Mountain Times newspaper will only be available in Watauga County and parts of Avery County. The paper will no longer be distributed in Ashe or Wilkes counties. However, the free weekly community newspaper can also be found in multiple locations throughout Watauga County.
So, I mean, it's still going to be accessible a lot of places. I mean, it's still going to be accessible with Watauga, and Watauga has always been where it's been mostly distributed. And it's still going to be in the Ashe, it's in the Avery area. It's going to be in Banner Elk. It's still going to be distributed there. And I mean, people can come to it online. It's free online as well. So wherever you are, you can go. There's no paywall on the Mountain Times website. It won't be in Ashe anymore, but we still have newspapers in Ashe. We still have newspapers. We have the Ashe Post and Times. We have the Avery Journal Times. So this is just kind of because we have those publications there as well. People can still get their news every day. And of course, they can come online as well. So all of our newspapers are also 24/7 online.
You can get a copy of the Mountain Times at your local grocery stores, convenience stores, and even the Boone ABC store. I'm Dalen Mickle with the Appalachian Weekly News.
The town of Boone is considering letting go of their 911 communication center. Boone and Watauga County both operate a public safety answering point currently. The State 911 Board has funding priorities for the town's future operations. This is said to greatly impact the funding needed for the Boone 911 Communications Center. Watauga is the only county left in the western part of the state that has not yet consolidated their program. The town of Boone contributes approximately $865,000 annually to the 911 Center, and the center contributes approximately $305,000.
We have some good news for Watauga County citizens. They will be benefiting from 8 grants totaling $56,500. The grants were awarded to local helping agencies around the town, including Western Youth Network, Oasis, and the Community Care Clinic. Funding for these grants comes from the Blue Ridge Energy Member Foundation. Members of the Blue Ridge Energy can partake in an Operation Roundup or Operation Roundup Plus program where they round up on their utility bill. Since the start of the foundation in 2007, $1.4 million have been awarded to the community. The grant is given to organizations that help in education, youth development, health wellness, economic, and community development. In 2021, they provided crisis funding assistance to more than 990 Blue Ridge members. If you have any questions, you can contact Tasha Runtree at 828-759-8994 or tuntree@blueridgeenergy.com.
There's just a few more days to catch the new Play Festival this year. The 4-day festival offers shows written and performed exclusively by App State students. Tickets are $5 and the performances will be held at IG Greer Theater on campus. The shows are at 6:30 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, at 1:30 on Sunday. The new Play Festival chair, Laura Panacci, says the festival provides great opportunities for student writers, directors, and actors.
At our university, there's not really that many writing opportunities for students outside of like classwork. So it's a great way for student writers to get involved and like work on plays and get to see them like either the next year or with 24 hour the next day. And then just like us giving opportunities for actors and directors as well.
Skip the Bag initiative was created by an App State student to create a sustainable shopping program. This program was introduced last fall semester and is used in the bookstores and markets. The basis of this program is that if you skip a bag, you get a wooden nickel. The nickel represents 5 cents, which is what a plastic bag costs. After you get the wooden coin, you can drop it into a canister which support App State's organizations.
The initial idea for the program came from a meeting with John Ekman, who oversees bookstores and markets and things like that, as well as the Office of Sustainability. And John Ekman actually had kind of just a random note jotted down about something like this program being implemented. And our main goal as students on that call was to eliminate the use of plastic bags. We sort of narrowed it down that we would do it in the markets and the bookstore, sort of the two main areas where plastic bags were being used. And then of course there was the issue of like, what would we do with like the extra money, because we're not buying like plastic bags anymore. And that's where the idea came to donate back that money to different organizations in the community.
Almost $3,400 were distributed. The organizations getting supported this year are Student Veterans Association, Team Sunnery, and Marching Mountaineers. These will change next fall. Last semester, the program helped keep nearly 68,000 plastic bags from local landfills. This program is a positive reinforcement for people making sustainable choices.
With the announcement of Watauga County Historical Society's Hall of Fame, the group has honored their first inductee. Elizabeth Betty Bateman Bond, a Fulbright scholar, earned her doctorate in education at UNC Greensboro. She taught at App State and during her tenure was a leading force in enhancing the Belk Library. She served as co-chair of App State's Centennial Celebration in 1999 and was awarded App State's Outstanding Service Award in 2005. After retiring from App State in 1996, she volunteered with the Appalachian Cultural Museum. She's been a member of the Watauga County Historical Society for decades and serves as president. She's also had involvement with the Appalachian Theater, the Downtown Post Office, Horn in the West, and more.
It's interesting that the work I've done with Watauga County Community Foundation is probably one of the ones that really made me realize the difference you could make on board. Several times when I have been asked to be on board, I said, okay, I only have two questions. Does this thing have an endpoint? Are we working on a specific mission here, a specific project? Because if it's just another board to rubber stamp some ideas, then I'm not here for that. Secondly, is it going to be fun? Because if it's not going to be fun, I don't have time for this.
Throughout the year, the Society will name an individual or a group each month as members of the inaugural class of their Hall of Fame.
App State's location provides a unique opportunity for some wellness literacy classes that students are required to take. Our correspondent Zach White has more.
Wellness literacy is a set of classes all students at App State must take, regardless of their major or minor. In the fall and spring semester, different classes are offered at different times, depending on the weather, due to a lot of these classes taking place outdoors. With the majority of Boone being cold in the spring semester, skiing and snowboarding are just a couple of the physical education classes offered at this time. Taking place at the local Appalachian Ski Mountain, skiing and snowboarding classes are something students of any year or skill level can attend. Sponsored by the French Swiss Ski College, a renowned program known best for their great instructors and being, quote, the best place to learn to ski and snowboard, Winter sports classes are welcome for all to take. I got to speak with Edgar Peck of the Department of Recreation Management and Physical Education at App State about why these classes are so important.
We're really lucky at App. We have 50 different physical education courses that students can choose from. Living in the high country provides tons of opportunities to engage in outdoor activities like skiing and snowboarding, hiking, backpacking, kayaking. There's just tons out there. The most important thing is that, every person gets to discover, the activities or sport that they really enjoy, If you can find something that you enjoy, that really is the number one thing to help you stick with an exercise program.
Although there are only 2 levels of classes offered, the French Swiss Ski College does its best to divide students up into focus groups closest to their skill level with each instructor. Each level of class has multiple instructors to ensure each student is skiing or snowboarding at a level that challenges their skill levels and abilities, while at the same time providing a safe and fun experience. Students without their own gear are offered rentals for the semester at a discounted price, as well as students without a ride to the slopes can sign up for a shuttle service that leaves from campus.
I think it's important for App State students to have the opportunity to take this class because it's not something that other colleges in North Carolina offer, and it's really important to have that kind of experience and opportunity.
One thing's for sure, skiing and snowboarding is not something students at every university have the luxury of taking. If you're a student looking to finish out your wellness literacy credits, why not consider trying out winter sports? For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Zach White.
Okay, App State fans, we only have 3 home games left for the basketball season. Coach Kearns is encouraging fans to come to the last few games. He wants to set a record high attendance. He says the student energy really helps the players be uplifted and help them score some big wins this year.
App Nation, our basketball program has set record attendance this year, especially from the students. You guys have been amazing. We can't thank you enough to see you guys there in the end zone, cheering our team on, and the energy that you all bring has really lifted us up to help us have some huge wins this year. We've got 4 more home games, 4 more. We need you. Bring some friends. Let's set record attendance, and you can be a part of it. We thank you so much, and once again, 4 more home games. Let's set a record attendance, a record student section, and you guys be a part of it. Thanks so much. Go Mountaineers, take the stairs.
Coming up on the Appalachian Weekly News, after this, an update on App State athletics.
Hi, neighbor.
I'm Ryan Perone.
And I'm Elena Jones.
Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. as we explore the events, organizations, and people that make the High Country so special.
You can tune in on Channel 198 for Spectrum customers, Channel 20 or 1020 for SkyBest customers, or Channel 23-3 on campus.
Also, make sure to follow us at Instagram at @hi_neighbor_apptv for up-to-date coverage of events happening and student-made content. Until then,
bye neighbor.
Welcome back to a brand new smack dab season of App TV's own queer-oriented show, Can't Think Straight. I'm Nate.
And I'm Harriet. We'll be here to make you laugh and think as we combine comedy and education on Can't Think Straight.
The show premieres Fridays at 9 p.m. You can tune in on watchapptv.com or on YouTube, Channel 198 for Spectrum customers, Channel 20 or 1020 for SkyBest customers, and Channel 23-3 on campus.
Also be sure to check out our Instagram at Can't Think Straight App TV. We can't wait to see you there.
Bye.
The football season's over, but we are far from done. With basketball picking up and March Madness right around the corner, catch all your App State national sports news on Charter Cable Channel 198 and on YouTube at App TV. Let's have a great year and roll Nears.
Memories. A sweet retrospective look at the past. However, the past has, well, passed. And now, a new and better crew looks toward the horizon and marches toward Appalachian State head-on. This spring, look toward App Avenue on App TV to see a new legacy be written on random days of the week. No, seriously, this show will literally be airing any day of the week, so stay glued to those screens. We'll see you out there.
Appalachian Avenue.
Thank you for watching, and welcome back to the Appalachian Weekly News.
So Xanayra, did you see that awesome win last night?
I did not, Shannon, but I heard about it. Alex, can you tell us about our rivalry with Georgia Southern, and how was that game?
Thank you, Xanayra. Thank you, Shannon. Last night, App State men's basketball team beat rivals Georgia Southern 65-61 at the Holmes Convocation Center. It was a tight-end game that went on to the very last minute, with the score difference being in the 36-point range for the final 6 minutes. Senior guard Adrian Adolph continues being the star player for the Mountaineers, securing 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists to lead the team to victory. App State remains at the top of the Sun Belt, improving the record to 10-3 in the conference. This victory builds onto the celebrations from last Saturday, as head coach Dustin Kearns hit a milestone after securing his 50th career victory as head coach for App State men's basketball program. The Mountaineers aim for their 3rd consecutive win tomorrow against Georgia State at 3 in the afternoon at the Holmes Convocation Center. Last night, App State women's basketball also played against Georgia Southern, but the result didn't go their way as they fell 80-82 in overtime. The Mountaineers led for 28 minutes of the game and majority of overtime, but they weren't able to push on to secure the victory. Senior forward Alexia Alish scored 3 3-pointers against the Eagles after she secured a career-high 21 points. The Mountaineers end their 4-game away trip tomorrow at Georgia State, with the game live on ESPN Plus at 2. The App State wrestling program will be hosting Campbell this Sunday in their toughest matchup of the season, with both teams being undefeated in the Southern Conference. The Mountaineers enter the matchup off a dramatic 18-16 victory against Chattanooga last Sunday, where junior Michael Burchell won the final match, guaranteeing App State the victory. Burchell erased a 4-point deficit in the heavyweight final and delivered a 6-point win to secure the 18-16 victory for App. The Mountaineers host Campbell this Sunday at 2, where they will be aiming to be the only undefeated team in the Southern Conference. Baseball season is right around the corner. Our correspondent Stephen Biddick is actually live outside the Beaver Stadium. Stephen, what can you tell us about the upcoming season?
I'm live here at Beaver Field, where in just under 2 hours, App State baseball will be taking the field for their first inter-squad scrimmage of the year. And with the season right around the corner, hopes and expectations are high after a disappointing end to last season. App State baseball is back in action this coming Friday, February 18th at Campbell University. The team is looking to match last year's hot start, winning 5 of their first 6 games before finishing the season 21-31. The team will play 54 regular season games this year, 28 away, 24 in Boone, and also 2 at Truist Park in downtown Charlotte. A major focus for the team this season is getting deeper into the conference playoffs after a disappointing second-round exit last year.
I think anytime that you're knocked out of the tournament early like that, you know, it really stings, and you get to sleep on it over the off season, and so that puts a lot of fire in your belly for the next season, and I think it's firing us all up, and it's kind of fuel for us coming into this year.
The team has also been working hard in the off season to improve on weaknesses from last season.
Just finishing out games strong. You know, last year we kind of struggled closing out some games, so hopefully this year we're able to finish strong.
The team is also looking for a bunch of production coming from the incoming freshman class and the transfers.
I think as a team we're really excited about all the new guys that are on the staff. We got a bunch of new guys in who are going to come in and make an impact right off the bat.
Players are also just excited to get back on the field and see what this team is made of.
Yeah, so we got a lot of new guys and a lot of returners, so I think just us meshing as a team and becoming a brotherhood, that's what I'm most looking forward to, is getting after it this season with it.
While App State's first 8 games are on the road, senior second baseman Luke Drumhiller said this is not a big deal because just 2 years ago, their first 15 games were on the road. You can catch App State baseball back in action here in Boone on March 4th against UNC Wilmington. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Stephen Biddick.
Thank you for the update season. I look forward to the baseball season coming up very soon. App State women's track and field team is currently at Huntington, West Virginia, as they are preparing for their final indoor track and field invitational of the season at Marshall. Last week at the Buccaneer Invitational, graduate Labria King stole the show, winning both the 60 and 200-meter events. King captured the 60-meter tile at 7.64 seconds and the 200-meter tile gold at 24.71 seconds. This marked King's fourth first-place finish of the indoor season. The Marshall Invitational starts tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. with day 2 of the meeting starting tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. App State women's golf team returned to action earlier this week in the Lady Bison Bay Point Classic at Palm City, Florida, to kick off their spring season. The Mountaineers finished 12th with sophomore Hannah Wang leading the black and gold with a 249 over 54 holes. Their next game will be held at Charleston, South Carolina on March 7th and 8th at the Oyster Shuck Match Play. App State women's tennis team has had a tough start to their spring season, losing their 2 opening games this week. On Saturday, they lost 4-1 to East Carolina. Wednesday, the team suffered yet another defeat against Radford 3-4. Junior tandem Erica Doddridge and Virginia Poggi secured a 7-6 victory at number 2 doubles to improve to 2-1 this season. The team's next match is tomorrow at noon against Davidson, where they'll aim to get their first victory of the spring season at home. Football season is just around the corner, and App State is starting to announce their newest recruits. However, the Mountaineers don't have to look too far for their latest recruits, as 2 Watauga High School seniors have committed to the black and gold. Orlando Leon and Carter Everett have spent the last 3 years as key members of the Watauga High School football team. The Pioneer duo head to the Mountaineers as preferred walk-ons, with Leon as linebacker and Everett as a kicker. That's all I have for sports this week. Xanayra, Shannon, back to you.
Thanks so much, Alex. I can't wait to see them play. And now it's time for your High Country High Note. Next Monday is Valentine's Day, and here are a few ways to celebrate in the High Country.
All this week, different Greek organizations are selling candygrams, roses, chocolate-covered strawberries, and more. A few spots in town for a romantic meal are Vidalia's on King Street, Casa Rustica on 105, and Joy Bristow in the new Market Center.
When you're buying Valentine's candy, consider treating your sweet tooth at Mass General Store. For every pound of candy sold this Saturday and Sunday, they're donating $1 to the Hunger and Health Coalition.
Tonight and tomorrow, Ransom will be hosting their Love Fest event featuring local bands such as Daytona, Over Easy, Her Majesty, and more. Lily's is also hosting their Valentine's Day night with bands such as Galloway and Kate Geeker and others.
No matter how you spend your Valentine's Day, single or in a relationship, there's plenty of ways to celebrate love in Boone. That's our report this week. I'm Xanayra Marin-Lopez.
And I'm Shannon Pendleton.
From all of us at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.